it's a 16 by 20 canvas. I've got liquid white on the top, liquid black on the bottom. That's just a soft medium to wet the canvas, and off from there we go. I'm Carol. This is my little friend Squirt. Hi, Squirt. Yeah, it looks like he's having his nap time today. You going to be a lot of help today? You're just going to sit there? Probably sit there. We'll put in the sky first. That's the easiest thing to tackle. I've got this 2-inch brush that I put the liquid white on with, and I can use it again. Okay. And I've dipped my brush into a little bit of yellow ochre and sort of my horizon line, somewhere around there. We'll just put a little of that in the sky. Yeah, I guess that's it. That's the horizon line now. A little alizarin crimson and yellow ochre together. I tap the brush in there, give it a little bit of a white. We don't want any big surprises yet. And I just put the color up there. We'll come back and do some blending, I'm sure. So we've got a nice soft horizon line. We can get a little darker above it, that's for sure. Ooh, wow. Ooh, just a little. Okay. Alizarin and ochre, they make a nice little peachy color. I kind of like them for a early evening sunset. Well, now let's get into some sky color. I've got phthalo blue, and I've mixed it with a little bit of phthalo green, just to get that little ocean glow going for me. Make sure you wipe off your brush, see? Whoa, that's a pretty neat, pretty nice color. Yeah, so we'll get those colors mixed in together. That's the plan. Yes, it will happen. But let me get something dark in the corners. I always like something dark in the corners. So I got a little lavender. I'll get that lavender. And lavender was phthalo blue with alizarin crimson. More alizarin than blue. So I picked up a little bit of lavender in with what's already on the brush, and we'll just hit those corners. See, it might be a good time to be dragging some color in down here. As long as it's on the brush, drag it in. I know you're guessing now because water's always flat, so she must be putting water in there. Probably am. And I'm looking for in a horizon line somewhere back there. It's nice if it's straight. Straight is good. Just pick it with your eyeball and give it a few long strokes. Perfect doesn't count. Aren't we happy? Aren't we happy, Squirt? Perfect doesn't count. I like it to be nice and flat, but you don't have to go crazy measuring and making things perfect. They all end up coming out just fine in the end. I've got a clean, dry 1-inch brush. Maybe that's what I'll do some of this blending with. Just where the colors meet. This is a little X stroke, but I'm really getting into it now. Might as well just kind of beat it up. And those colors will blend together. That's nice. I want to not know where one color ends and the other begins. Maybe. What do you think, Squirt? You think we made it yet? And if it works, it's fine. If it doesn't, you want to get rid of those last few little brush strokes in your sky. You can take a nice clean blender brush. This brush is so soft you could powder your nose with it. And you can just give it a few little swipes of that, and that'll get rid of the brush strokes. It didn't get rid of all those little runaway hairs, but I'm going to ignore them right now. Let's go for the corners. I used to pick all the little hairs off as I painted. And it got to be such a nuisance, I said, well, the heck with this. I'll pick them off after I'm done. Because as you paint, sometimes they disappear anyway. Disappear into Neverland. So, let's kind of get some kind of a cloudy transition going here. From my dark corners, and there might be little things happening here in my sky. I don't know, Squirt, what do you think? And maybe we'll take that little blender brush, give it a few little swipes and call it done. I want to spend most of my time in the water today. Got your bathing suit on? Okay, we are going in the water. Alright, you guessed it. I know you guessed it. I might as well tell you. It's a seascape. Yes. If you've been watching, you guessed it ahead of time, because I promised a seascape, and here it is. What I want to do is spend some time in the water and kind of teach you the fundamentals of a seascape today. The fundamentals of a wave. That's where I'm headed. I got to get some more color in that water, that's for sure. Phthalo blue, phthalo green, a little lavender, and just drag some more color in from each side. Maybe go for a little more lavender. I like lavender. Try it down here. It's going to get darker at the bottom. It's going to be light at the horizon and darker as you come down. That's the plan. There's always a plan. It doesn't always happen, but there's always a plan. There's my little horizon line. I'm not worried about it too much. I do want things to be nice and flat. Water's always flat and level. And I like those little streaks. I'm going to make them work for me. Of course, you come down here and you say, well, now what's going to happen? I'm just mixing in that blue with that liquid black. I know I wanted to get darker down here. The black down there just gives me a head start. On getting down here and having it a little darker where it hits the beach. This is where the water hits the beach. So I'm adding a little color right on top of the black, evening things out. And when I get to the very bottom, I just got to grab some Van Dyke brown in my big brush, put some of that at the very bottom. That'll mix in with the black too. In fact, I'll take that brown, you even move up a little with it, mix it in with the blue. That'd be just fine. Okay, well, I think we're in fair good shape now. Probably retire that dirty brush for the day. I keep picking up a clean brush. It saves me time washing brushes. But if you have to wash your brush, you're going to wash it out in odorless thinner. Then you're going to dry it really good. What you don't want is to bring a wet brush up here to your canvas. So you really got to dry them out. So I have a habit of doing a whole picture without washing a brush. And then I sit down and I wash them all at once. Yes, I've never been noted for doing things that require too much work. I find the easy way. This is my filbert brush. Now that I'm there, I'm going to decide where a couple of waves are going to be. And I just need a shadow. Every significant wave will have a little bit of a shadow. So, okay, I'm really being relaxed about that. My big knife, I'm going to put some little bitty far away things happening. Right here there's a real light spot, so I picked up titanium white and I'm just going to scrape in a few little, with a little roll. Gotta have a little paint, nothing happens, right, Squirt? Squirt's my buddy. Comes to my studio every day while I work, keeps me company. He really does keep me company. I know he's not talking now, but he talks a blue streak. Right, Squirt? Keeps me company. Answers the phone for me. If the phone rings, he's right there. Hello, hello. I bring Squirt. Squirt comes to all my classes. I bring Squirt, and he sits in the corner, and he talks, and he chit-chats, and entertains everybody. So I've had students say, gee, it was worth the price of the lesson just to listen to your bird for 3 hours. So, Squirt, I guess I'll have to put you on salary, huh? Now, I switched to a little bit of titanium white with a little alizarin in it, and now I've got a little of that lavender, blue lavender color on the knife, and I'm just a little indications. I'm gonna buff these out with my blender, and I know I'm gonna do that. So little indications of some faraway things happening. Do 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 do. Somebody stop me. Oh, I got a big sign in my studio. Hasn't helped yet. The sign says, somebody stop me. We get on a roll, boy. We sure do carry things. On and on. I got a nice small blender. I'll take that color that's way back there. Just give it a sideways, flatten it down. You know, water's always flatten it down. And that's our, oops, it's in the sky now. That's our little far away thing. Little far away things. Now, I'd have to step back about 5 feet to tell you if I really like that. That's what you should be doing too. When you're painting, you get a little bit done and then step back and look, you know? Step back and look. Otherwise, you'll never know what's happening up there. And So, if you're home watching this show, you should be painting. I told you that before. If you're home, you should be painting. For whatever reason. Taking care of the kids, retired, whatever reason is you're home, you could be doing, you could be painting. Painting makes your heart happy. I drew it, I reinforced that little shadow line of a wave I had, and now I'm just softening the bottom of it. And I'm going to do another one. So we'll go back and forth between the fill bit and whatever else I got here. Let's see, I'm going to put in another one. Another one, another one. Ooh, another one. And they're foreshortened, so don't be dropping way down here to put your waves in. They really kind of sit right up there next to each other back there, foreshortened. And I'm going to blend the bottom out a little, so I'll switch to my little. This is my little 1-inch I'm using to blend the bottom. Oh, see? There's one, there's two, there might be one more. I don't know. I really soften up the sides of the canvas. Leave all the focus kind of right in the middle. That would suit me. And under there, if I wanted to stop my angles, I grab with my brush, grab that shadow and just pull it. I head towards the right. I'm right-handed, I guess. Just head towards the right. Establish the way that water is really flowing. That might help establish the angle. Let's see. We'll do one more little mystery wave, and then we ought to think about, remember, foreshortened. Choke it right up there. Just, I'm picking up lavenders and blue. I'm kind of, whatever my brush goes into. Oh, that's a big help, isn't it, Squirt? A little alizarin, a little blue, makes a lavender, and there's another wave. See, the top of the wave isn't perfectly straight, but when I blend them in, I always go for that. Well, first we can roll it. Let's see. Roll it with the angle. Rolling, rolling. Gee, Squirt, I try to teach you to sing songs. Huh? I can teach Squirt a new word every week. He is smart like the dickens. Yes. Squirt, what have I got to do to get you to entertain the TV audience? I don't know. Probably want to get paid, huh? You know what they say. You pay peanuts, you hire monkeys. But I do have a treat for you, and it is a peanut. I saved it for you. You're a good boy. You can have that. He'll disintegrate that. He'll make a big mess. Now I'm thinking, those are my little far away ones. I can even put white caps on those in a little while. That's it. Drop all the crumbs all over me, Squirt. Business as usual. Now I'm going to think about one major wave, okay? And my major wave is going to have a little top like that, and then it's going to maybe... Okay, well that's a good beginning, but we certainly got to make it darker, right? So let's just come back up here and make it darker. Okay. Little blue, little alizarin, lavender. Whoops, I don't know what that color was, but it snuck right in there. And that's a major wave. I'm not happy yet. I want to do a little more to that. Ah, yes, I do a little more to that. It's a nice substantial wave, so it's going to have a shadow under it. We might as well think about getting it there. Little blue, little alizarin. Oh, that's pretty neat. So I'm just putting in color where I know there's going to be a shadow. There's not only a shadow under the tip of the wave, right there. There's a shadow in a wave. There's a shadow right where the gully is. Right where the we'll call it the gully. That's a good place. That's a good thing to call it. So I know there's a shadow down here, and I would just put some dark color down there. Lavender blue, blue lavender. Okay. So pretty big wave, huh? That's okay. Don't scare me yet. I could scare myself eventually. I've been using this brush. Let's wipe it off. It's not too loaded. And go back and do that angle. If this was the way, it would come down and go little wave, and then it would level out. You can make those noises. I'll be changing the angle on the dump, but we could just do this and have it done with. I'm wiping the brush off with almost every stroke because I would just be picking up that light color and losing my shadow if I'm not careful. Oh, there, got that angle. It curls in and it flattens out. Right about, I do need more shadow. Right about here, this is going to be like the dump of the wave, and I gotta have some shadow to put it over, so I'll put that in there. And soften it up a little. Okay, I knew I wanted that there. And there's this shadow in the gully. Let's look at that and make sure we have enough of that shadow in the gully. And I think we do. I think we do. Okay, now we're ready. Now we're ready to study the anatomy of a wave. Now that I've got the top line in and I know where I'm going. Well, I think I know where I'm going. Let's see. There's the eye of the wave. The eye of the wave, I'm just going to give you a good little idea. I think of it as a little tadpole. And it's the white spot of the wave that the sun shines through. It's that favorite thing we love to do, put in the eye of the wave. And it's right up here under the line. Kind of looks like a tadpole. And the next thing I would put in is what I call the dump of the wave, and that's right over here next to the eye. And kind of like a waterfall, that wave is falling over. Like a little dump. And then there's just a little foam, and the little foam's going to come around, going to come down here, and you can dance around up there and go wherever it wants to go. So we have an eye, we have some foam, we have some dump. I always do the eye first. That's my place to start. And I've been known to do that with my finger, but I'm going to try to be good today. I'll do it. I have a clean fill bit. Let's do it with that. In fact, I'm going to come in there and put a nice little glowy spot. Maybe I'll take some of this blue off there altogether. Look at this wonderful little tool. It's called a wipeout. Works too. A little titanium white, a little cad yellow, and maybe a speck of that phthalo green. Wow, that's dynamite. Okay, that's that color we all love. Emerald green maybe. Really bright, but it'll get polluted. And I'll smash it in right under the top edge of the top edge. I'm going to put a little more white in there. It's a little brilliant, but I think it'll calm down as we go. So I'm just kind of blending that top edge. Make it nice. Make it nice. Okay. The bottom edge, I have plans for the bottom edge. I think I'll go with that's a little dirty. Let's get a clean 1-inch. Establish the angle again. So I'm going to grab it up here, do the little gully, and then straighten out. Wipe the brush off. It's certainly got pollution on it now. Ooh. Well, I think I will let a little pollution come back up there, because that's pretty brilliant. Okay. In that case, we'll let the pollution work for us. Alright, so that's the eye. It's under the curl. That's where the surfer wants to shoot the curl. Right, Squirt? This is going to be a surfer's painting. The next thing I would do is put a little color on that dump. I'm going to take these little lines a little bit. Isn't this wonderful? Wet on wet. You can change things. You can take them out. You can put them in. Very forgiving. Very, very, very forgiving. I've got my large fan brush. Taking a little titanium white. And I also got a little spot here. My titanium white. And I got a little liquid white in it. It makes it a little thinner. Look out for that though. I don't want to get carried away. And I just grab the little edge and put the little dumps. It's kind of the way we put a waterfall in. You're much better off if you do that once and leave it. Because that never stopped me from playing with things. But you are better off. Well, like I say, never stopped me. And that's my little dump. If you want to catch the color of the sky, you might say that to yourself someday. You might want to pick up a little of that pink glow and put that in there. That's kind of nice. You know, get all the colors working for you. That's my dump. Now the foam action. Foam action. I'm going to go back to my filbert brush. First I'm going to put in the shadow of the foam. The shadow of the foam. And then I'll put in my little white caps. So the shadow of the foam is kind of like my lavender blue. I'm using my filbert brush and I'm just dancing in here wherever I think a shadow would be. Well, this goes under the foam, under the foam, under the foam, under the foam. Yeah, it could be over here too. It could be over here too. Could, whoops. Could be little white caps there. And it could kind of just splash up here and here and there. That happens. You know, might as well get now you can get as brave and fancy as you want. Everybody says, well, it's easy for you to say. Well, it might be splashy over there. Who knows? Up in the air, up in the air. We'll think of a reason why that's there later. It's another thing about painting I love. You know, you make up your own little histories. So however your painting comes out, it's always right, because as long as you got the story to back it up. Remember what your story is when you tell people why things are where they are. Okay. Now we can put some white foam right on top of that shadow. That's where I was heading. I'll just take my small fan brush. I've got titanium white, liquid white, and I might put a little bit of that peach in there. That's always nice. Nice. And I'll just push up with the corner of the fan. Whoa. And we'll even put some white in there later. Push up with the corner of the fan. I'll come over here. Squirt, can you make those noises for me, please, so I can get real splashy? Pick up a little more paint. Down here, now you got to be a little, not so crazed. Right. We'll be a little neater down here. I am picking up a little pollution, but I come back. You can wipe your brush off. Come back and get some clean paint. And there's a little bit there. Well, I'm having so much fun, there's no stopping me. Then I'll pick up some real nice white and give it a few little extra little white shots. Now, where the foam meets the shadow, if you just take the tiniest little flat brush you got, and if you tapped it a little under there, it's the way we mix the bottom of a cloud to get a little tapping, kind of mist it up a little. You keep that bottom edge, so that bottom edge is your friend, because it makes the wave stand out from the curl, and because that wave is coming forward at you. It's just rolling right at you. Oh, just soften that up a little over here. Oops, somebody stop me. Squirt, that should be your job. You're supposed to do that. I think I'll switch to adding some little white cap action in there, and a small knife would do it. I'll pick up a little titanium white. And back here, this little wave we had back there, I'm going to just run the knife with the white on it on the top of that shadow. Just like that white's just rolling towards you. And I'll get it over there a little bit. Top of this one. Top of this one. Just a little white cap rolling towards you. Oh, we'll hit it over there. We'll hit it over here. There's this one here. And there's this one here. I keep saying things I want to do. Whoops. Can't blame that on Squirt. Squirt gets blamed for a lot of things. Only half of which what he does. Let's see. We've got some waves in the back. We've got this wave rolling forward. You know those little veins in the wave. How nice they look. Okay. Let's go for a few of those quickie, and then we got to put in my liner brush, some thinner. Make the thinner nice and thin. Remember the angle of the wave, and there could be some of those coming here. If you switch to white, you'll get some. You'll get some back here in white. And you can play with these. When I'm not looking, you can play with your little veins all you want. Alright? All you want, you can do that. Another fast way of doing that I found, because I love shortcuts, is to take a little paint on the knife. Remember the angle. And just kind of up with the angle and then flatten out. Up with the angle and flatten out. Take your bunny brush, remember the angle, goes down and flattens out, and you can get all kinds of action with your knife. Well, we better quickly throw some foam on the beach. You know that little wave that rolls up on the beach? I've got a load of white paint on my knife, put the roll on the bottom, starts over here somewhere. It's sort of like putting in a water line. Press, move over. Might have to reload now. Oh, there's my, that works. That works. Maybe pick it up here and reload. I'm pressing right in there and getting that paint to come off the edge of that knife. I'll fix it up with a bunny. I'll make it neat. You know, it doesn't have to be neat right away. It might be a little one back here. And there might be another one here. Ooh. Let's see. We've got 1 minute. I'm going to pick up a little titanium white in my brush. Go right under the white spot. Pull the paint down. Give it a sideways bunny. Try to get a shimmer going. Maybe if you don't like your little foam lines, you'd bunny them. Just a little with this little blender brush. Give them a little kiss with the blender, and that'll flatten them out just in case they're not flat. And, gee, what do you think? That was a quick landscape, a quick seascape, but it works, and it teaches you some of the fundamentals. You're going to have to practice seascapes. They don't come easy. Sometimes they come hard, but if you practice them, you will get them. Right, Squirt? Well, so much for Squirt. So, happy painting. Hurry up, get your paints, get to work, and I'll see you next time.